Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do the first of maybe 3 of the walkthroughs of the new shop. I appreciate you being here. You see something you like, by all means hit like and subscribe. Tell your friends and neighbors, but more importantly, thank you for being here. Alright, before we walk inside and we go through and I show you exactly what we're doing, I want to talk to you a little bit about the process that I went through to get this building. I looked at pole buildings or pole barns. I looked at stick built, which I don't know if you've priced materials lately, but that's cost prohibitive. Looked at actually a steel structure. And what I settled on, my wife actually found this company on the internet one night, and I done a little research. The company that I bought the building through is bigbuildings.com. Okay, I believe they're based out of Tampa, Florida. I dealt with a gentleman named Adam. He was my sales contact there where I purchased the building, and you could not ask for a better experience. I would recommend Adam and this company to anybody that's building a structure like this. I'll have their contact information down below, but it was a very seamless process. They spoke a lot about, and they've got a success team that follows up on a lot of different things, and was really sold on their sales presentation. I spent 20-something years of my life working in sales, so I can pretty much pick up on a line of BS, but these guys lived up to everything that they said they would do. They actually had an install team come in, and that company here locally for us out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, is Eagle Carports. Those guys came in, and basically 3 men built this building in 3 days. They came in here on a Monday, probably didn't get started till around 10 o'clock. Thursday by 3, they were complete. We were doing a walkthrough. I signed off and gave them a check. Again, a very, very easy process to follow through. These guys work daylight till dark, and as we go through and we look at various things at the building, I'm going to show you a few of the points that they did that absolutely impressed me with what they did. So, without any further ado, let's step inside and you can see what we got going on. Okay, inside the building now, I wanted to talk a little bit about the construction of this building and basically how I came up with the design. Down in Florida, where these buildings are engineered and designed, it's my understanding that they have like 140 mile an hour wind rating. Okay, so for the most part, that's the way the building's put together. Okay, code restrictions and whatnot may cause you to deviate from that. These guys have structured, certified, engineered drawings that'll pass off for just about any state in the union. Again, refer to Adam and those guys down there to find out specifically any deviations that you may need. Of course, you have to take care of your own permitting for power, water, sewage, that type of thing. But we're going to talk specifically about my building. The drawing that they sent me required a footing. Okay, I believe it was 12 by 12 and then the cap. We did that, but I went a little bit overboard with my concrete. 6 foot in from my walls, I'm 9 inches thick above the footing, okay? And within that, I had my concrete man float every 18 inches a 5-foot piece of 1/2 inch rebar. That gives me a tremendous amount of perimeter strength on this, so I don't have to worry about the building potentially bowing and causing cracks in the concrete. Further, because I went much deeper on my cap than necessarily is required, we had much deeper joints. Now, what will that cause you to have to do is at the end of the building and on the sides, you're going to have a gap down there that you're going to have to go back and fill where they put the expansion joint in. You can do that with caulk. You can do that with anything that you can put like an RTV gun, anything like that, a caulking type gun. Is what I'm referring to. You can squirt that in the crack and seal that up. I had much rather have to do that than have to deal with a crack a year, 2 years, 10 years down the road. So again, we've got the rebar every 18 inches all the way around. The footprint of this building is 45 by 50. The main part that I'm in right here is 50 feet long by 30 feet wide. And I've got a 15-foot lean-to completely closed in there on the back side. Within the building, the insulation that they use is a high density polyethylene backed, fabric reinforced backing. This is throughout the entire building. I've got all 4 walls and I've got the roof done. Okay, all the substructure in this building is galvanized. Now, the one thing that I will caution people about, and this is a communication issue with me and my concrete man, we'll step over here and look at a gap that's all the way around my building, but the way I'm going to finish it out, it poses no problem, and it's no fault of anybody other than the fact when these guys got on site, I had to make sure this concrete was formed and finished so they could absolutely get started the day that they showed up. I didn't want any kind of delay. So let's step over here and we'll talk a little bit about that. As you can see, I've got about 1.25 inch gap right here in the floor between the top of the cap and the bottom of my bottom ledger panel here for the building. And basically where that came from was when we formed the concrete up, the forms were on the outside and we had to have a step so we would have our easy for me to say, rat ledge for the beam to sit on. We didn't know exactly how we wanted to do that, so I told my concrete guy, go ahead and do an end step on a 2x4, okay? A 2x4 is actually, 3 3/4 wide, so that's where this come from. I'm going to go back and finish filling in all of this with ready mix and self-leveling grout. But this wall, as well as the wall on the other end of the building, and also the man cave, we will finish this out in T11 siding, so I'll have a 2x4 on here and then a 1/2 inch board. That'll actually bring my board line over a 1/2 inch out here in the floor, so none of this right here is going to be seen. If I wasn't going to finish the building, and as I think I said in another video, this is actually, I've been waiting on to build this building for 40 years. So I'm going to build it probably nicer than I would had I built it 40 years ago. But nonetheless, that kind of shows you where some of the construction all is. Let's look at the roll-up doors. I was really back and forth with how to go about getting these and what door actually to use. All right, the doors are not insulated. They are very thick. Metal. They're trimmed out very well. They fit very good at the bottom. I was really back and forth of whether to put an insulated door here or not. But the most effective way to get an insulated door is to have the tracks that go out overhead. I fought that battle in my other shop constantly because it was small and I had a 16-foot wide door that was always above my head in the summertime. And I said, well, I'm just going to sacrifice a little bit of the thermal density of the building, if you will, and not have the insulated doors to have the overhead room, because I've got a lot of projects coming down the pipe. The first one we do in this building is very tall and very large. You guys will see that in a later video, and I just did not want to have that impediment over my head. Again, down here at the bottom, we've got a pin latch on either side of the door, as well as a chain lock. Very well impressed with that, as having the building completely secure. I'm not concerned about having to burglar alarm these doors right away. Of course, there's nothing in here right now anyway. But again, it's just added safety, and also the way that the doors are fixed to the concrete, it certainly will be easy to put the burglar alarm on each one of these doors as time goes by. The lighting that I'm going to use, and you guys will get to see that, I've got 16,000 lumen, 4-foot fixture, 4 bulb LEDs, and they're a high bay light, okay? Guys, if you're building a shop, really look into your lighting. I have a friend of mine, his name is Jim. I'll put his contact information in. He is a lighting guru. He and I worked together for about 7 or 8 years, so I fell back on his knowledge to help me get this thing lit. He assures me that the lights I got are more than what I need, and I trust him in that light. But again, you want to get high bay lights designed. These lights are designed to be overhead. The light spreads out. It's not concentrated in one area. It does away with a lot of the shadowing that you'll get with traditional other lights and fixtures. So again, see the bottom. I'll have his contact information in there as well. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, I've got the 30 by 50 up front. We've got a 15-foot lean-to, as you can tell, obviously here. Again, it's fully insulated and enclosed. We went with 14-foot walls. That put my center height inside on the hip probably in that 19-foot height. The drawings and all show it. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, again, this is completely closed in, and we had to get a 9-foot out here, we had to go with a 14-foot on the main part of the building. And like I say, if you look at these screws and the craftsmanship and the way these guys put this building together, could not ask for it to be any better. Alrighty, the doors that we put up, 12 by 12, I did go with the Dutch cut-ins. at the top of the door and also on my little porch area. Sandstone is the color we went with on the outside, white trim, and I've got a black top. Again, folks, I cannot speak highly enough of the folks at bigbuildings.com and also Eagle Carports. As a team, for this style of a building, I don't think you can spend your money any better. I will tell you this when we talk about pricing. The stick-built building, for what I first wanted to go to, was in current market prices pushing $200,000 finished. A pole building was going to be somewhere right around $100,000. And this building right here came in, by the time I get completely done, I'm guessing I'm going to be somewhere between 70 and 80 turnkey. Understanding I'm doing the electrical myself, I'm doing the plumbing myself. Again, we talked about the construction of the building and who did that, and I contracted out the concrete. Again, the concrete in your market, depending on where you are, could be a lot more than what mine was. It could be a lot less. But nonetheless, I'm doing a lot of this work, calling in a lot of favors from my friends, borrowing and pleading with them to do certain things for me. So the building will be nice, but it's going to take me a little bit to get it done, and I'm going to take you guys along for the way, or excuse me, along for the ride. Again, I do appreciate you guys spending a little time in my channel. Hit like and subscribe. Our channel is growing. We're getting a little momentum again. I've got a lot of projects that we've been working on. It's just the editing time has taken us a little bit longer than I thought. But again, stick with us. I thank you so much for spending time on my channel. And again, always, always, God bless.